Good morning, students. Let's start now. It's already 5 minutes past 9. I told you the meeting would be locked after this. So now nobody would be allowed to enter. Let's start with what we were doing yesterday. We were doing reported speech. I had already revised certain rules with you. Change in the reporting verb we had done. I told you about what changes have to be done when must is used. This part was already done. We also did the changes in modals like shall, should, can, could, may, and might. Must changes I have already done. And lastly, we did this, that even if your sentence is in past tense, these are the two exceptions when you will not change the tense in the inverted commas. One was universal truth, and the second was the habits. In these two cases, you will not change the tense which is given in the inverted commas. Now let's proceed from here. Where we finished yesterday, we'll go ahead now. We've already done 3 rules. Just an example of that same rules where the tense does not change. Look at this sentence. He said, comma, inverted commas, gold is one of the most useful metals. If you see inverted commas are given over here, that means this sentence isn't direct speech. We need to change it to indirect speech. Obviously, the first thing that you'll do is you'll remove the comma, inverted commas. So he said that the capital G would become small g because we are opening the commas. Gold is one of the most useful metals. Although your verb is in past tense, we did not change the tense inside the inverted commas because this is a universal truth. This is a universal truth. Normally, I told you the most important thing to remember is tenses do not change in present and future. But tenses do change if your verb is in past tense. But if you see over here, your verb is in past tense, still the tense is not changed. The reason is the same which I had discussed with you yesterday, that this is a universal truth. Look at this. Let's move on to rule number 4 now. Change in the personal pronouns in the reported speech. Pronouns of the first person in the reported speech are changed to indirect form to the person of the subject of the reporting verb. Very easy. Look at this example. He said, I am not guilty. So when we change this direct to indirect, we'll again do the same things. He said, we'll remove comma, inverted commas, we'll make it that. Now this I has to be changed. Okay? I will change according to this first subject, whoever is speaking. Here he is speaking, so we will take it as he over here. Had the sentence been, she said, I am not guilty, then my sentence would become, she said that she was not guilty. I hope it's very clear. This first person, this I is what? This is the first person. This will change according to the subject of the verb. Means whoever is speaking, it will change according to that. If it is he over here, the I will become he. If it is she over here, the I would become she. Let's see what changes have to be done if your pronoun is in the second person. Second person means you, beta. When I say first person, I mean I and we. And second person is always you. So what changes have to be done? Look here. He said to me, you are right. See this now. This is the second person. In your inverted commas, this is second person. I also told you, if after said, we have an object, then said to becomes told. Said to becomes told if you have a subject. Subject means whom is the person speaking to. Look at this sentence. He said to me. We have an object over here and the object is me. Whom is he speaking to? He is speaking to me. That means there is an object over here. If there is an object, the said to becomes told. Forget about subject and object. Just remember, if it is mentioned that whom is the person speaking to, then you convert said to told. Over here, it is very clearly mentioned that he is saying this to me. That is why your said to has become told. Now let's continue. He said to me, comma, inverted commas will go. That will come over here. Look at this. You are right. You are right. So this changes according to the object of the reporting verb. See over here. Better be careful. In the first sentence, we were going according to the subject of the reporting verb. Subject means who is speaking. Understand the difference between subject and object here. Subject is the person who is speaking, and object is the person to whom he is speaking. For example, I say Rahul said to Geeta. Then Rahul will be your subject and Geeta will be your object. Look at another sentence. John said to Mary. So who is speaking? John is speaking. So your subject is going to be John. To whom is he speaking? He is speaking to Mary. So Mary is your object. Beta, remember, in the first person, whenever we have your pronoun in the first person, and also remember first person means I and we, then this first person pronoun will change according to the subject, means the person who is speaking. But if your pronoun is in the second person, that is you, then your pronoun will not change according to the subject. It will change according to the object. Object means the person to whom he is speaking, and here it is me. Because it is me, it will become I over here. Also see the change in tense. Are becomes was. Because with I, we do not use were. With you, we use are, we don't use is. So you are right will become I was right. We have done the first person change. First person means I. Is it okay? Second person means you. And he, she, they are all third persons. So what changes we will do in the third person? In the third person, the reported speech remains unchanged. There is going to be no change if this is third person. Look here. I said to him, she is very clever. Immediately you will see that pronoun is first person, second person, or third person, and then you follow the rules. See over here, children. This is the third person, she. I told you in third person, no change is needed. So we'll continue. I said to him. See again, beta, we have an object over here. The object is him. So this said to will become told. Said to will become told. I told him that she was very clever. Is becomes was, but we have done no change in this pronoun she. I'm very quickly revising the rules for changing of pronouns. What change you will do in pronoun will depend upon whether your pronoun is in the first person, second person, or third person. Understand the difference again. First person means I and we. Second person is always you, and all the others in the world, he, she, it, they are all third persons. So if your pronoun is in the first person, like in the first sentence over here, he said, I am not guilty. So this I is your first person. If your pronoun is in the first person, then you change this pronoun according to the subject. Subject means the person who is speaking. So here the person who is speaking or your subject is he. So I changes to he. Let us come to the second rule where we are talking about the second person. Second person means you. In second person, your pronoun will not change according to the subject. That means it will not change according to the person who is speaking. Rather, it will change according to the object, means the person to whom he is speaking. So, who is the person to whom he is speaking over here? It is me. So, me becomes I. The last rule is for third person. He, she, it, they are all third persons. There is no change in the pronoun. Look at this sentence. I said to him, she is very clever. Which is the pronoun over here? She. We will do the other changes, like we'll remove inverted commas, we will change the tense also. But what change we will not do is, we will not change the pronoun. Look at this sentence. I told him, comma, inverted commas removed. So you're going to have a that over here. She will remain she only, no change in the pronoun. She remains she, and is becomes was. So these are the three rules you need to remember. The change in pronouns, if it is first person, second person, or third person. Rule number 5, I have already done with you. Let's revise them very quickly. Now becomes then. Here becomes there. Today becomes that day. Yesterday becomes previous day. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Last night becomes the previous night. This becomes that. These changes to those. Ago becomes before. Tonight becomes that night. Thus becomes so. And the next day becomes the following day. The next week becomes the following week. These are some words that you'll be changing. Look here now. Exception, we are coming to an exception now. If, however, the sense of the indirect speech is such that the act of reporting is happening at the same time and the same place, then there is no change in the above words. Supposing in direct speech, somebody is speaking something which is telling you something about happening at the same time or at the same place. Then what do? There is no change in the above words. Above words means these words which I told you. These becomes those, this becomes that. Okay? This change we will not do. This will not become that if a person is speaking about something happening at the same time or at the same place. Look at this sentence. Ruchi said, this is my house. That means at that point of time, she is showing someone the house. So it is the same time and same place. So how are we going to go ahead? Is it the same time and same place? Ruchi said that this was her house. I did not change this into that. Ruchi said it's going to be said only because we don't have an object. This will remain this only. Don't get confused. Ye wala jo that hai, this has come because we have removed the comma and inverted commas. I did not change this to that. The reason being because the sentence is being said, something is happening at the same time and the same place. So we will not change these words. Let's move on to rule number 6 now. Look at this. These are rules for conversion of interrogative sentences. The reporting verb said is changed into asked or inquired. Whatever is convenient for you, you can use that. Look at this sentence. He said to me, will you go? There's a question mark. If there's a question mark, this indicates very clearly that it's an interrogative sentence. So how you will change it, beta? He asked me. See very carefully. This said to. Normally I said when we have an object, we change said to told. Here we have an object. If you can see, me is there, but we will not change said to told because it's an interrogative sentence. Rather, we are going to change the said to asked. He asked me. Beta, be careful. Some children write, he asked to me. To will not come here. This whole thing said to will become asked. So if you're writing asked, do not use this word to. He asked me if I would go. He asked me whether I would go, whatever is convenient for you. But if you're using whether, be careful about the spelling. Don't write that other wala whether. Second one, he inquired of me if I would go or whether I would go. What am I trying to tell you? That if you have a question mark, that is an interrogative sentence, then your said will change to asked and you can use if with it. Asked plus if or inquired plus if. Come to rule number 2 of interrogative sentences. Remove the comma and the inverted commas in case of questions which are introduced by auxiliaries. Auxiliaries means is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, can, may, will, shall, has, have, had, etc. In short, the YN questions which I told you, that the yes or no questions. Okay. All these cases, we are talking about the yes and no questions. So how do we handle such questions? Let's see this, though I have done that day with you. He said to me, have you done your homework? Question mark. This is a yes and no question, YN question. You can give your answer either in yes or no. So it is very simple. Your said to will become asked. He asked me. Again, I am reminding it is not asked to. It is only asked. He asked me if I had, you becomes whom over here. You will change according to this me. If I had done my homework, have will change into had. Look at the second example. Mr. John said, is Mr. Gupta at home? Let's do this question. Now see, Mr. John asked or Mr. John inquired. Whatever you want to know. See, here he's trying to get some information from you. There you can answer in yes and no. So it is better they have used inquired. Inquired would be a better word over here, no doubt. But even if you use asked, it would be correct. Mr. John inquired if Mr. Gupta was. You're going to change the tense. Is will become what? Is will become was. If Mr. Gupta was at home. The most important thing is when you change an interrogative sentence from direct to indirect, you remove these question marks. See, when I change it to indirect, I put a full stop over here. Here also, when we've changed this question mark, it has converted into a full stop. You don't need to have a question mark because your interrogative sentences have now been changed into simple assertive sentences. Come to the second rule now. In case of interrogatives which start from words like, I'm talking about WH words. WH words means wherever you have a W and a H, like who, which, what, why, when, where, how. They are all WH words. So in case of interrogative sentences which start with these words, The first word is made the connecting word. The first word is going to be made as your connecting word. Now we are going to understand this. What does this mean? So we've done two types of questions, beta. We have YN questions and we have WH questions. Look at this WH question. He said to me, why are you late today? He asked me why. This again is going to be the same thing. Comma, inverted commas will go, but we will not use that. Till now, what were we doing? We were connecting both the parts by removing comma, inverted commas and using that. But in WH questions, we will not use that, children. This WH word will act like your connecting word. Okay? Connecting verb means what? Connecting verb word was that. Till now, we were using a connecting word, that is that. But in such sentences where your questions start from WH, that is not used. In place of that, use the same word to connect these two parts of the sentence. Understand? He said to me, why are you late today? He asked me why I was late. Today becomes what? Today becomes that day. Clear, everybody? So what is the main difference we have when we have a WH question? In WH question, children, that is not used. We are not going to use that. Till now we said the connecting word between two parts was that. But if your interrogative sentence or interrogative question that you have are starting with WH, then what will you do? You will not use that. See over here, I have removed the comma, inverted commas, but I have not used that. He asked me why I was late. Today becomes that day. You should remember that the mark of interrogation is now retained in the indirect form and the subject is brought before the verb in assertive sentences. Over here, the subject is what? Why? And this is your verb. So your subject is before the verb. Okay? It's very simple. We have removed the inverted commas, the question mark, and your subject has come first. Now come to rules for conversion of imperative sentences. This is your 7th rule. In imperative sentences, the reporting verb is changed into these words. Now you have to decide which word has to be used. It could be ordered, commanded, requested, or advised. Look at these words again. Ordered, commanded, requested, advised. Let's try and do the sentences. He said to me, comma, inverted commas, please don't keep me waiting so long. Now this word please very clearly tells you, this is not an order, this is not a command, this is not an advice, rather this is a request. So we are going to change this said to according to these words. So for said to, we will use the word requested. In place of said to, we will use the word requested. He requested me not to, see this please has to go. Why we will not use this word please? Because in place of this please, we have already used the word requested. So we'll make it, he requested me, don't, in place of don't, make it not to. Remember this change. Not to keep me. Me over here is who, beta? Me is he. So we'll make it him. He requested me not to keep him waiting so long. Had the sentence been, the teacher said to the student, close the door. So requested we cannot use because please is not here. Ordered or commanded would be better. So the sentence would become, the teacher commanded the student to close the door. Had it been an advice, let's do one example. The teacher said to the students, you should work hard. So here it is advised. So the sentence will become, the teacher advised the students that, here, what is it? The teacher advised the students to work hard. To work hard. So you have to select these words according to the meaning of the sentence. You can change it to ordered, commanded, requested, or advised. After I explain all the rules to you, we'll be taking up some exercises. We'll be doing some exercise sessions with you. Come to rule number 2 now, where you will be answering. The reported speech is changed into the infinitive mode by introducing to in place of inverted commas. Look here. He said to me, comma, inverted commas, go out. This is an order. So what will it become? Said to will become ordered. He ordered me. Now here we will introduce this word over here. When you remove your comma, inverted commas, you will use the word to. He ordered me to go out. Infinitive. What is this to called as? This is called as to. So you're going to change this sentence in such a way that introduces infinitive in place of comma, inverted commas. You can see here also I've used infinitive, not to. Don't becomes not to, so I use a to over here. So normally I'm talking about this. He said to me, go out. This is a command. This is an order. So he ordered me to go out. What did we note in these sentences? Or in all these sentences, what observation we have done, I'll tell you. First, just go through all these. We have observed certain things, beta, that all nouns and pronouns in the vocative case in reported speech are turned into personal objects. This rule may seem very complicating, but let me explain. It's very easy. Look at this sentence. He said, comma, inverted commas, Ankur, sit still. This is a vocative case. Vocal case, something being said directly. He said, comma, inverted commas, Ankur, sit still. Now he's speaking to whom? He's speaking to Ankur. So I told you, whenever we have an object over here, said to becomes told. Here we do not have to, but still we will change this said to told, because we know that he is speaking to whom? He is speaking to Ankur. He told Ankur to what? He told Ankur to sit still. See over here. What did I do? This to has to be introduced over here, and said becomes told over here. Normally, in normal cases, we saw that said to becomes told. But here, said will only become told. Reason, we know that he's speaking to whom. This is a very important one now, this rule. Look at this. In the sentences which begin with let, the reporting verb said is changed into requested to be allowed. Or you can make it proposed also. Let's do this. He said, let us go out for a walk. See over here, your sentence is starting with let. Your sentence is starting with let. And we need to change the sentence. I told you if your sentence starts with let, you can use these words, proposed or requested to be allowed. He proposed, comma, inverted commas will go. Why I have used proposed, children? Because the sentence is starting with let. Now this comma, inverted commas, you want to have that. Us becomes they. Okay, he proposed that they should go out for a walk. What have I done over here? Proposed is there. So we are going to do this. He proposed that they should go out for a walk. Don't panic in this. There is no problem. Whenever we have this word let, it normally comes as a proposal. Let us go for a movie. Let us go for a walk. So all these things are basically in place of said, you can use the word proposed. Okay. Remember, this is an important rule. You may get an exam the sentence which start from let. Let's move on to rule number 8 now. We are going to deal with exclamatory sentences first. I have already done assertive, I've done interrogative with you. Now I'll be taking up exclamatory sentences. I told you how to identify interrogative sentences. You're going to have a question mark. How will you identify interrogative sentences? Question mark. How to identify exclamatory sentences? It's very simple. You're going to have an exclamation mark. I'm giving you 1 minute. All of you will read this. The rule number 1 for exclamatory sentences, please read. Okay, I hope you've read. Let's see what it was. The reporting verb said is changed into exclaimed. Because we are talking about when interrogative, we said we'll change said to asked or inquired. But in exclamatory sentences, your said is going to change into exclaimed. And it could also be changed into wished or prayed in case of optative sentences. It depends upon if it is a wish, your said becomes wished. If it is a prayer, then it will become prayed. And otherwise, it's a normal exclamation, then you simply use the word exclaimed. I'm giving you 3 examples, understand. Look at the first one. He said, comma, inverted commas, hurrah, we have won the match. In this, there is no wish, there is no pray. So we'll simply change said to exclaimed. So, but you need to mention exclaimed with what? Exclaimed with happiness or exclaimed with sorrow. Winning a match obviously is happiness. So we'll change it like this. He exclaimed with delight or he exclaimed with happiness that they had won the match. We will become they over here, have will become had. I hope the first change is clear to everybody. See very carefully. I told you 3 words are generally used in exclamatory sentences. It could be exclaimed, it could be wished, or it could be prayed. In the first sentence, there was no wish, no pray. It's a simple exclamatory sentence. But remember, when you're going to use exclaimed, mention it is exclaimed with happiness or exclaimed with sorrow. The first example I've already done with you. He said, hurrah, we have won the match. He exclaimed with happiness, he exclaimed with delight that they had won the match. Let's move on to the second one. He said, alas, it's a grievous loss. Now here, it is again an exclamation. It is not a wish. It is not a pray. So we cannot use wished and prayed. We are going to use again the same word, exclaimed. But here we are going to use exclaimed with sorrow. He exclaimed with sorrow that it was a grievous loss. Is becomes what? Is becomes was. So we have done how to deal with exclamatory sentences. Remember, we are going to change exclaimed according to the situations. You can have anger, joy, surprise, resentment, hatred, anything. They've given you a few examples. If you have this word alas, it's exclaimed with sorrow. If it is hurrah, it is exclaimed with joy. If it is oh, then it is exclaimed with regret. But don't always go according to what is written over here. Sometimes oh may be used the other way around also. It is not regret always. Regret is after something happens, you feel bad about it. In Hindi, we say pachhtana. You're going to feel bad about what happened. That is what we call as regret. Second ones have given you you can use exclaim with delight. But again, I would suggest don't go literally according to this book only. Read the sentence, see the feelings, and then change. Then they've given you po, sha, exclaim with contempt. He said, may God bless you. So here, if you see, this is a prayer. So here the said will become prayed. He prayed that God might bless me. You becomes what? You becomes me over here. Now, here we saw a sentence where we came across a prayer. Now come to rule number 2. First change the exclamatory or repetitive sentences into assertive sentences and then you follow these rules. What does this mean, children? It means first of all you remove this exclamation mark. Fine. First of all you remove this exclamation mark. This has to be omitted. Okay. Now, look here. He said, what a fine bird it is. Exclamatory mark. He exclaimed that. Here we need not have exclaimed with happiness, exclaimed with sorrow. There is no happiness or sorrow to say that this bird is very fine. So simply, it is not always that exclaimed ke saath you have to use happiness or sorrow. You could simply say, he exclaimed that it was a very fine bird. So it is not always a reminder to you, remember, that exclaimed with sorrow, happiness is not always there. You can simply use the word exclaimed also. Look at this simple sentence. Sign of exclamation is omitted, children. You will not use the sign of exclamation. Okay? It becomes a normal sentences. Look here. Alas, how extravagant I have been, said he. Now you can either make it like this. He confessed with regret that he had been very extravagant. But if you find it difficult, you can simply say, okay, he exclaimed with, because I said alas can become sorrow also. So if you want, you can use the same rule. He exclaimed with sorrow how extravagant he had been. It won't be wrong again. Now, all forms of addresses, exclamations such as good morning, good evening, hurrah, should be omitted. We should not use this in the indirect senses. We are moving on to general rules. It's very simple. A passage in the direct form sometimes consists of several types of sentences. See, you will not get one sentence. You will get a passage. Passage may be of 4 lines or 5 lines, which may have all kinds of sentences. In the same passage, you will have an assertive sentence, you will have an interrogative sentence, you will have an exclamatory sentence. This is how it will come in exams, beta. Okay? So be careful. I'm giving you an example how it will come in the exam. Look at this sentence. The teacher said, why are you late today, Mohan? Have you no watch or clock in your house? Is it thus that you want to make up your deficiency? So we have to change this passage. If you see over here, this passage is very easy because all the sentences are interrogative ones. So we can simply change it by using asked. The teacher asked Mohan why he was late that day. Today becomes what? Today becomes that day. If he had no watch or clock in his